Hey guys, welcome back to the Wild Wrestling Channel. I am your host, Seth. In case you can't tell, I am on vacation. That's why I'm not in the normal studio and I'm in my bedroom. But we still gotta get a video in today, and it's a very special video. And in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you guys my AEW Worlds End 2025 predictions. So let's hop right into the video. Play the intro. First up, we have the two Continental Classic semifinal matches. In the first one, we have Kyle Fletcher and Jon Moxley going at it in the final of the Blue League and the finals of the Gold League, as it's like intermixed, I know. And they both did very well in their groups, as Kyle Fletcher was very dominant in his group, getting a lot of points. Kyle Fletcher really is I feel like these are two guys who will fit very well in the Continental Classic, as they consistently can put on great matches, and they just fit very well in the way of what you're trying to do with the Continental Classic. As when you look at the tournament, like I said, they put on very great matches, and they just know kind of how to, when they wrestle a bunch of different people, it's just like they just are like a good fit into there. Like sometimes putting a different face in there might be a little but they're like a good face of they're a consistent worker and wrestler that is definitely like a person who could fit in there. And it's going to be a great match. They both are very dominant in their leagues in the Continental Classic. And I don't feel like we've seen them go at it very often, but we have seen some tensions flare up from the Death Riders and Don Callis family. So this would be a good match, as I think they're going to throw balls to the walls and absolutely destroy each other. They both want to be Continental champions so bad. And in the end, I'm going to take Kyle Fletcher to get the win here over Jon Moxley here. Kyle Fletcher's on such a great rise, and I just don't feel like it's right to have Jon Moxley, after losing the world title and kind of being on a downslide, lose to Kyle Fletcher here, so I'm taking Kyle Fletcher to win this Continental Classic semifinal. In the other Continental Classic semifinal, we will see Kazuchika Okada facing off against Konosuke Takeshita, two members of the Don Callis family who are just two dominant champions, as one of them is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in Konosuke Takeshita, and we have the AEW Unified Champion and Continental Champion in Kazuchika Okada. This is going to be a very, very good match. The tension has been building up for months, as we have seen them throwing hands at each other, getting in the face of each other for the past month in the Don Callis family, as sometimes they've had some times where they're on the same page and they really don't seem to like each other, so they absolutely get to tear each other apart here. This is going to be an awesome match here, as I think two Japanese talents absolutely know how to tear into each other and make incredible matches. They're both known for having great matches, so I think putting both men who are known for having great matches, you're just going to produce a crazy match. I think after a brutal match, because they were so dominant in both of their leagues, as they also were just two people who were the right fit for, they can run through those round-robin tournaments, and I think after a crazy match here, I think Kazuchika Okada is going to walk out on top. I just think Kazuchika Okada, he's so dominant in the Continental Classic, and he was literally in this position last year, and I just think Kazuchika Okada is going to be the better man, and I don't know if Don Callis interfering might help or anything, but I got to take Kazuchika Okada to get the win here. Next up, we have the Chicago Street Fight, FTR versus the Bang Bang Gang. This rivalry has come about, and it's kind of a small underrated rivalry we've been seeing, as ever since FTR won the tag titles. The Bang Bang Gang were kind of the first to challenge them, and they kind of arguing on Collision and stuff like that. They got their shot at Holiday Bash and eventually lost, but the rivalry has continued into World's End here, where you're going to see a Chicago street fight now. The Bang Bang Gang is known for being very crazy and being able to take those crazy big risks, and FTR, we've seen from them this past year, they are no person to think of innocent either. They can do some horrible things to someone. So this will be a very, very interesting match here, as I think they are both of them so badly want to be tag team champions. They will push the limits and do whatever they can to get the win. And I just think it'll be very interesting and a very good match here. And after a brutal match, in my opinion, after some crazy violence, I think FTR walks out still the champs. They just won the titles, and I just think they're so much better of a champs and tag team than the Bang Bang Gang. No offense to the Bang Bang Gang. So I got to take FTR to get the win here. Next up, we will see the Mixed Nuts Mayhem between the Death Riders and Timeless Tony Storm and the conglomeration here. Timeless Tony Storm has been feuding with Marina Shafir throughout Blood and Guts and everything, so it makes sense. And the conglomeration has definitely had their problems with the Death Riders. This is going to be an epic match here. The Mixed Nuts Mayhem sounds just incredible, and it's first of all, it sounds like crazy and incredible, but it also sounds super funny. It sounds like it is going to be a match very violent, but full of comedy violence, as like we've seen with like they're going to pull out some funny things to hurt each other with, and I definitely think it'll be a funny match, along with a super good and violent match here. The rivalries make sense as they've been feuding for so long now. But, I mean, this is just going to be a fun match in my opinion. And I'm really excited to see it. And I'm going to take Timeless Tony Storm and the Conglomeration to get the win here. Tony Storm finally joining here. I just don't see her losing here. And the Conglomeration have really been working towards it. And I think them together can really be able to put a stamp on the Death Riders here, especially with like Jon Moxley and them not in the match. So I got to take Timeless Tony Storm and the Conglomeration to get the win here. Next up, we have Gabe Kidd versus Darby Allin. I mean, this is going to be a match that has been building up since like the summer. As Gabe Kidd, he kind of took a step away from AEW over the last couple months, but he's back now and still has his deep hatred for Darby Allin. And I mean, they have just been running. I mean, after everything that like Darby did to Gabe Kidd, would put him in the body bag and drive. Like, there's so much bad blood they have with each other here. And we saw on like Dynamite and Collision of just Gabe Kidd kicking Darby Allin down the stairs. I mean, this is just a brutal rivalry here of two absolute dogs and just unhinged people. So this is going to be a very violent and awesome match here. I think that the hatred is going to show in this match a lot here between, especially Gabe Kidd, who just seems to have like a level of hatred that's like really crazy and unnecessary in my opinion. But I think Darby's going to complement that with his craziness. And it'll be a very, very interesting match here. And I'm going to low-key take Gabe Kidd to get the win here. As much as I'd want to take Darby here, I just don't see that bump after the stairs. Give him in the win here. And I think Gabe Kidd coming back after a while, this would be a good way to kind of build himself up, to kind of get this big win here and kind of prove that he's like still the top dog and one of the best dogs in the Death Riders. So I got Gabe Kidd to get the win here. Next up, we have the Babes of Wrath taking on Mercedes Moné and Athena for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. This is actually this is the first defense of the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships, and in my opinion, it is crazy star-studded. We have Mercedes Moné, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, and Athena all in there for the tag team titles. So it is really setting the bar. After that tournament we saw to crown them too, when like people like Toni Storm, Willow Nightingale, Marina Shafir, like all of them, they are setting the bar really high for this tag team division and those tag titles. Compared to some people maybe thinking that the tournament was really just a bunch of people thrown together, but they really set the bar high and they are really delivering here. This should be an epic match here, as Willow and Harley have definitely been delivering in the tournament, and of course Mercedes and Athena, they put on incredible matches against each other, so no doubt they're going to be able to put on an incredible one together. And this will be an epic match here, as it'll be, like I said, it's a really good start for the tag titles. It's like really elevating them to a certain standing, so it'll be very interesting to see. And it's crazy because like some people could overthink who they really want to win here based on how star-studded the two teams are. But I have to take the Babes of Wrath here. I just don't see them. It makes no sense why you have them win the tournament right then, build up all that momentum, for them to immediately drop the title. Plus, we just saw Mercedes Moné. She's starting to lose some of her titles, and I feel like she's on this such a big rise of winning titles. I feel like that tip now is because she's going to start to go downhill. So I don't understand why you would give Mercedes the titles with that, but also take the titles off the Babes of Wrath right after they just won them. So I have to take the Babes of Wrath to retain their AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. Next up, we have my Continental Classic final, Kyle Fletcher and Kazuchika Okada. Keyword there, mine, because everyone could have different people who win their individual semifinal matches. So for me, this is like who I have winning and who I think would win it, like in my predictions. So Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, I think this is a perfect fit. I mean, they were two of the best wrestlers in the Continental Classic this year, and they've been two of the best wrestlers throughout this whole year. Kyle Fletcher's really broken out and been a crazy good breakout star, and Okada has continued to prove his dominance all throughout this year, joining the Don Callis family, and I think they are definitely going to have a barn burner of a match here, and it'll be interesting to see this Don Callis family clash. And I have a hard time deciding here because I really want to take Kyle Fletcher here because Kazuchika Okada, just to remind you guys, he won this Continental title back in March of 2024. He's almost had the title for 2 years, consistently defending, and he's never lost it. He went through an entire Continental Classic last year and never lost it. He wrestled Kenny Omega at All In and didn't lose it. This guy just is unbelievable at holding his title. So that is what makes this hard about deciding. I really want to take Kyle Fletcher here. I think he's the perfect fit for a champ right now. But part of me just says there's no way they're going to wait all the way till Kyle Fletcher to take off the title when they had people like Kenny and just like they had Kenny, the Continental Classic last year. Like, why is this time the special time for Kazuchika Okada to lose? And the part of me that says it is because Kyle Fletcher is a breakout star. He is skyrocketing up so much, and this would be the time to give Kyle Fletcher that rocket and help him rise. But I feel like it would cause a lot of drama in the Don Callis family and stuff like that. And as much as I want to take Kyle Fletcher, I just got to take Kazuchika Okada here. Like I said, I want to take Kyle Fletcher so bad, but Kazuchika Okada has just proved his dominance throughout this last year, almost 2 years. And this does not feel like the right time here, based on just all those other options they're giving us. So I got to take Kazuchika Okada to retain his Continental Championship. Next up, we have Chris Statlander versus Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's World Championship. This match came about kind of quickly and not really ready, as people would say. It's kind of like it kind of just kind of happened. There wasn't like too much lead up to it. It kind of just came about, and it's definitely a good match. Then promoting it well. I mean, if we look at that stare down that they had on Dynamite and stuff like that, they were shoving, getting in the face. I mean, they're showing how heated they want this match to be, and they're proving it that way. And I think it's a good match. It gives people like Jamie Hayter, who hasn't been in the world title picture in a while, a shot, especially as like we saw that big horde of women that we saw on like Blood and Guts, who had all been mixing it up on like Collision for so long, and now they're all getting their chance to shine here. So this will be a great shot for Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander to really have a great match here. I think they're two amazing wrestlers in AEW, so I think they're definitely going to tear the house down. This will be a great match, and I'm taking Chris Statlander to get the win here. As much as Jamie Hayter is a great wrestler, Chris Statlander just seems like the better like face of the women's division right now. So I think it's going to be a great match, but I got Chris Statlander walking out victorious. And finally, the main event, Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, MJF, and Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship. This was supposed to be a three-way after Hangman wanted his rematch against Samoa Joe, and Swerve got in the mix and everything after Full Gear, and it became a three-way. Then MJF returned in Holiday Bash, cashed in his All-In Casino Gauntlet, because if you remember at Forbidden Door, the only way MJF, he was going to light Mark Briscoe on fire, remember, and the only way he told Hangman he would accept Hangman's challenge for the match is if he didn't have to use his All-In Casino Gauntlet, and he didn't. So MJF still has it, and he cashed it in for World's End because he talked about in his promo how Hangman was calling him a coward and he didn't want to feel that way. So we went right up to all their faces, cashed it in, and now we have a four-way, a very entertaining four-way, in my opinion, that should be very, very interesting. I think this is going to be a great match here. I think this is just another match where it's so weird and so hard to pick because you got four of the best guys in AEW right now. You got Samoa Joe, who just won the world title, and then there's three other guys who I all think could win the title here. It's like you put the title on Joe, and now you immediately make us think that he's about to lose it. It feels it makes sense, though, if they just wanted the Fatal 4-Way, they needed to give it to Joe, because they're not going to have him wrestle at Wrestle Dream, lose at Full Gear, and ask for another shot. It would have to be Hangman trying to get his shot back at the title, so I definitely think it makes sense here. But I think Joe could definitely retain here, especially with the help of the Ops. I really want to take MJF here. I don't know what it is. It's just like MJF just seems like this return just feels so resilient that I feel like it is a perfect way for him to snag the gold and just like get it that quickly. Just like a return, catches it in, and wins the gold back that quickly. Like, I would want to do that a lot. I just can't see them. I just don't know why they would give it to Samoa Joe if, like, he's going to get taken. Like, I know I just said why. I guess some part of me just doesn't want to believe that Joe could lose it that quickly. But this is my predictions, and I'm going to say that I really think that Joe could retain here, but I'm going to take MJF. I just feel like he had such what's the word? Such a crazy and unexpected return and impactful. That's the word. Impactful return. That I feel like this is the perfect time. Give him that gold right now and let him run into 2026 as the AEW World Champion. I think it would be the perfect way to cap off this year and let MJF really start 2026 in his return off hot. So I'm taking MJF to win the AEW World Championship. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you enjoyed this video and turn on that bell so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. I post every Monday and Friday. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.